To the main evening news and sport, the headlines. Cancelled Aer Lingus flights jumped to more than 240. Government under pressure to intervene in the dispute. Thousands protest across the country in support of Natasha O'Brien, who's called for an end to gender-based violence.
We all deserve better. The victims should not be forced to suffer again and again.
More than 40 die in Israeli airstrikes in Gaza. The Red Cross said 22 of its staff were killed in the latest shelling. And Derry edge out Mayo on penalties in the Football Championship, while Clare and Cork book their spots in the hurling semi-finals. Aer Lingus has said more than 240 flights are now being cancelled during next week's strike and work to rule by pilots at the airline.
Ahead. Vincent Kearney, RT News, Belfast.
Let's go over to Dave now for the sports news.
Kate, thank you. Mayo's quest for Sam Maguire will go on for yet another year. They were beaten in a penalty shootout by Derry, who now progressed to the quarter-finals. Earlier, Tyrone were surprisingly knocked out by Roscommon, and Galway saw off Monaghan.
A wet and windy Salt Hill, the backdrop for a game far from a championship classic. Galway surviving the first half loss of sharpshooter Shane Walsh, edging a tight defensive contest to lead by a point at half-time. But they improved with the wind in their faces. Rob Finnerty and Paul Conroy to the fore as they pulled away from Monaghan. 14 points to 11, the final score. Perhaps the last glimpse of Conor McManus in a Monaghan jersey as the tribesmen march on.
We're delighted to get out of here. I know people said it was going to be an easy game for Galway, but we knew all week that Monaghan are a proud footballing county. They put up a big show there as well and had the tactics right, everything spot on. So it took us a while to break it down, yeah, but look, I'm delighted with a 3-point win.
Galway will be joined in the last 8 by their Connacht rivals Roscommon, who shocked Tyrone in Omagh. The visitors scorching into a 9-3 half-time lead, thanks in no small part to Derek Craig. Tyrone closed the gap in the second half, but never truly looked like winning it. Man of the match Craig, seeing out a 14-12 win for the Rossies. And Mayo's contest with Derry went down to the wire. A low-scoring first half went Derry's way, leading 6-3 at the break, but Mayo sprang to life in the second half. A decisive penalty, given for a foot block, neatly tucked away by Ryan O'Donoghue. Mayo looked set for victory, but Chrissy McCaig had other ideas, fisting over to force extra time. But they still couldn't be separated, so penalties would decide the outcome. Oren Lynch was the hero for Derry, saving twice before Conor Doherty smashed home the winning penalty. Derry into the quarter-finals, while Mayo's quest for Sam will go on for yet another year. Paul O'Flynn, RTE News.
Now, Clare and Cork are into the All-Ireland hurling semi-finals. Pat Ryan's Cork comfortably defeated Dublin, while Clare outclassed Wexford.
The Banner County were at their brilliant best and opened up a 7-point lead over Wexford after 23 minutes in an entertaining quarter-final clash in Thurles. Clare were in firm control before a dramatic sequence of events brought this match to life. David McInerney conceded a penalty and was issued a black card. Lee Chin stepped forward to show his usual class.
Close to half-time and he buries it into the corner, emphatically.
Wexford's momentum soon stalled when Rory O'Connor was sent off after receiving a second yellow card. Clare led by 2 points at half-time and never looked back. 2 second-half goals helped Brian Lowen's side to a comfortable victory.
Clare looking much sharper, much more focused, and now that one is in the back of the net by Shane O'Donnell. Ian Galvin looking around and firing it into the corner.
A 9-point win for Clare and a semi-final spot secured.
Under a good bit of pressure for the last couple of weeks, obviously after losing and I suppose the way that we lost as well. So fair play to our lads, fair play to the resilience that they have, and just delighted with them, yeah.
After an evenly matched opening to today's other quarter-final, Cork pressed on and stretched their lead over Dublin to 5, 15 points to 10 at half-time. Pat Ryan's men were in firm control despite not hitting top gear. 4 unanswered second-half points increased Cork's lead to 9, ultimately an insurmountable gap for Dublin to overcome. The contest petered out as Cork languidly secured victory, with 26 points to 21. Today's results mean Cork will play Limerick, while Clare and Kilkenny meet in an All-Ireland semi-final for the third year in a row. Shane Dawson, RTE News.
Galway and Kilkenny are the latest counties to make the knockout stage of the All-Ireland Camogie Championship. Niamh Malone's goal helped Cork to a comfortable win over Clare, 3-19 to 7 points. Kilkenny beat Derry 4-17 to 7 points. Wexford, Cork, Tipperary and Waterford also had wins. Ireland's medal tally at the European Aquatics Championships has increased tonight. Danielle Hill finished second in the women's 100 metres backstroke final. Lottie Cullen was fifth in her first European final. For Hill, it's her second medal win of the week in Belgrade. Euro 2024 continues tonight in Group E with Belgium against Romania. It's into the... Leona Maguire is well into her third round of the Women's PGA Championship. A second round 71 left her 3 under par at the halfway stage. She has dropped a stroke today and is currently 2 under par, leaving her 4 off the lead. Shane Lowry remains in contention at the Travellers Championship. He is 2 under par for his round, 11 under overall. And that has him currently in a share of 12th place on a congested leaderboard. Glasgow Warriors have won the United Rugby Championship in a dramatic final. They came from 13-0 down to beat the Bulls 21-16. Scott Cummings, George Turner and Hugh Jones with 1 try apiece for Glasgow in Pretoria. On the final day of Royal Ascot, there was Group 1 success for Oisin Murphy. He was on board last year's winner, Cadem, in the Queen Elizabeth II Stakes. For trainer Charlie Hills, the 80-1 winner in 2023 came home today at odds of 14-1. And Offaly's Alex Dunn has become the first Irish driver to make the podium in Formula 3. The 18-year-old driving for the MP Motorsport team finished second in today's Spanish Grand Prix sprint race. In tomorrow's main race, he will start 9th on the grid. And that is your sport for now. Kate.
Thanks, Dave. Hello and welcome on the 9 o'clock news tonight. Israeli army ties injured Palestinian man to jeep during a raid in the West Bank. UN accuses it of flouting international law. Gunmen kill 8 people in Russia's Dagestan region in a series of attacks on religious buildings and security forces. President Higgins leads ceremony of commemoration for the victims, survivors and those affected by the 1981 Stardust fire.
Today it's just like it was a massive day for us, to celebrate their lives that they had, the lives they could have had.
And a big win for the Wee County. Louth toppled the Rebels to make the All-Ireland quarter-finals for the first time ever. The United Nations has accused Israel of flouting international law after its soldiers tied a wounded Palestinian man to a jeep during a raid in the occupied West Bank. The Israeli military said its troops had violated protocol and there will be an investigation.
A wounded man lying on the hood of an Israeli military jeep as it passes by 3 ambulances.
Also the worry for many concert goers who have booked flights here specifically for these events over the coming weeks. And that includes thousands of Taylor Swift fans who are due to travel from different parts of the world to Dublin ahead of her 3 sold-out shows here at the Aviva Stadium from Friday.
We booked it 11 months ago. Our flights haven't been cancelled. However, we have booked the overnight ferry to Dublin from Holyhead at another cost of £300 on top of what we've already spent.
Many others like Carrie-Anne are doing the same to protect their travel plans, with no indication of when or if industrial action will be averted soon. Instead, tensions appear more fraught between the pilots' union, IALPA, and Aer Lingus management, despite both sides saying they are ready to hold discussions on this long-running pay dispute. Karen Creed, RT News.
In Greece, 13 crew members have been charged after fireworks launched from a yacht sparked a forest fire on the island of Hydra. The blaze burned part of the island's only pine forest late on Friday night. The crew, all Greeks, deny the charges. They're due in court on Wednesday. Well, a busy day in sport. So let's go over to Paul for the details.
Thanks, Kate. Good evening. Laois and Down will contest the Tailteann Cup final. Down got the better of a spirited Sligo in today's semi-final, but only after extra time. Laois proved too strong for Antrim in the day's opening game.
A 5-point win, 312 to 113. Laois celebrate their success over Antrim. The Leinster county, who were routed in last season's semi-final, fared much better today. Antrim began the game brightly, but by half-time, it was Laois who had the advantage. 1-7 to 7 points. Brian Byrne's goal the difference. The small margins of the modern game on show after Laois hit the post. Antrim hit the net.
Well, there's a ball inside and a chance here for McAleer, and McAleer judged the bounce of the ball perfectly.
Laois were far from finished. Kevin Swain pouncing to revive the Midlands men. Then it was game over for Antrim when Brian Byrne struck again.
His second goal of the game, and Brian Byrne put Laois into the Tailteann Cup final.
It was a very tough battle out there, and we got a bit of luck at times, but we're just delighted. Any day you get to come up here, play in the sun in front of these people, it's brilliant.
Down in Sligo's semi-final turned out to be an exciting tussle. Cian Lally was important to Sligo today. His meandering run set up Paddy O'Connor. Sligo up by 3 after he fired in.
What a finish by Paddy O'Connor.
Not much between the sides, Down trailing by just a point at half-time. It remained a close contest, Liam Kerr keeping Down's scoring tally ticking over. Aidan Devaney denied the Moore men a big boost. Sligo soon surged forward for their second goal. Down were now chasing the game, and in the final minutes they had an extra man, Nathan Mullen, sent off.
Oh, it's a red card.
2-12 to 18 points at the end of normal time. Extra time was needed in this pulsating contest.
Odrin Murdoch scores!
Ultimately, Down pulled away, a penalty sending the Ulster side on their way. So the team Manny have as favourites to win the Tailteann Cup are back in the final. Laois await in 3 weeks' time. Eamon Horan, RTE News.
Go into the decider after grinding out a win over Sligo. Marty Morrissey got the reaction from a jubilant camp.
So after extra time here in Croke Park, Down are back in the Tailteann Cup final for the second year in a row. This time their opponents will be Laois. I'm joined by Conor Lavery, the Down manager. You must be pleased because that was some game against Sligo, wasn't it?
Listen, it was a titanic battle, Marty, but we knew that coming in. We've seen Sligo's results over this past number of months. Their performance against Galway in the Connacht Championship, we knew the quality they had and the forwards they had to trouble us, but we were just delighted to get over the line.
The penalty was a crucial moment, wasn't it?
Yeah, I thought it was great intent by Ryan McAvoy, and Oren finished it greatly. It was that probably just give us a bit of breathing space then, coming down the final straight, but fair play to Sligo, they dug in and came back up the field with another score, and listen, it was hard and mouth stuff many times there.
Absolutely. Well, and you now have a little bit of a wait, haven't you?
Yeah, we've got 3 weeks now, but you would be happy enough. You'd rather be having a 3 week wait than going home tonight in the losing bus.
Well done to you and indeed to County Down, because now we know in the Tailteann Cup final 2024 in 3 weeks' time is going to be Down against Laois.
Yeah, we look forward to that. Now, Louth have reached the All-Ireland football quarterfinals for the first time ever with a 1-point win over Cork. Cork led at the break thanks to a Daniel O'Mahony goal, but the wee county responded with a goal of their own in the second half. Donald McKenny taking advantage of a mistake from Cork goalkeeper Chris Kelly before Sam Mulroy kicked the winning point from a late free. 1-9 to 1-8 the final score. Louth advancing to the last 8 while Cork bow out.
Yeah, it's huge. Really, really nice moment, and just that buzz after the pitch, and the pitch is flooded with fans and parents and family and everything else. It just makes it really special. And yeah, roll on next week. Special, yeah, special. Just look forward to draw next tomorrow, is it? And then double header Croke Park next week. Sounds good.
Champions Dublin have been drawn against Galway in the quarterfinals of the All-Ireland Ladies Football Championship. In a one-sided group game, Carla Rowe scored a hat-trick as Dublin beat Kildare 4-19 to 9 points. After beating Donegal today, Waterford were drawn away to Cork. Kerry will play Meath and Armagh face Mayo. Now Scotland are bidding to progress past the group stage of a major tournament for the first time tonight. As it stands, the Swiss would win the group. Leona Maguire is currently inside the top 20 at the Women's PGA Championship. She's 2 over par, 10 shots off the lead. On the PGA Tour, Shane Lowry shot a 67 on the final day of the Travellers Championship. On 17 under, he finished in a share of 9th place. On 22 under par, world number 1 Scotty Scheffler is heading into a playoff with Tom Kim. Max Verstappen has won the Spanish Grand Prix for a 3rd year in a row. The Dutchman took an early lead in Barcelona and won his 7th race from 10 this season. Lando Norris was 2nd with Lewis Hamilton in 3rd for his first podium finish of the year. In the Drivers' Championship, Verstappen now leads by 69 points from Norris. Derry's Callum Devine and his Killarney co-driver Noel O'Sullivan have won the Donegal International Rally. The pair also won last year's event. They finished 17.4 seconds ahead of Welsh driver Marion Evans, with Donegal's David Kelly in 3rd, 9 seconds further behind. Cork's Keith Cronin, who crashed out of the rally when leading on Friday, still leads the Irish Tarmac Championship. And that's all the sports news this evening, so it's back over to Kate.
Thanks, Paul.